Well. I've never done any kind of documentation like this before, so I hope it's not a complete disaster. I'm gonna want to make some of these videos that are like behind the scenes talking about, how I go about making videos. So hopefully somebody can take this information and say, oh, cool, now I can make a video. Or in case you're just interested in how videos are made, well, this is for you. So a lot of different people like to brainstorm in different ways. Most people, I think, like to just write out their ideas. I'm more of a visual person. I like to draw out my ideas. We're just gonna be watching some time lapse of me drawing storyboards. Please forgive my atrocious sketches at the beginning. I promise they get better. Look, the point is to just get your ideas down, so it doesn't have to look great, but it'd be nice if it did. I knew I definitely wanted to start this right where the last video left off, right? So for anybody who hasn't seen that video, it basically leaves off basically a cliffhanger, right? So you see my boy, the Sith, just kind of whip out his lightsaber, and they're about to engage again, and that's it. The video cuts. So it's gonna start off with just a pan across the ground. They're fighting again, but okay. So quick little story. My Sith actor, he's still around. I can still get him to be in this video, so great. But Jedi actor is no longer here. So because I can't get him in the video, I had to think of a way to either write him out or recast him. And I'm not the kind of person who likes recastings, because then it's like weird. You need the same actor for consistency. So what I decided to do is just do the opening this way, right? So we see just a pan across the ground, we hear fighting, and then we see an arm fall with a lightsaber. And so that's to be assumed that's our Jedi. And so we don't have to see his face, which is good, but we assume he just dies, and that's the end of his story. So great. So this is also, by the way, going to be an interactive experience where you get to choose what happens in the video, right? So you're making the decisions for the Sith. So if any of you have seen Bandersnatch, basically that from Netflix. But if you haven't seen Bandersnatch, basically you are picking what happens, like a decision tree, and what you choose basically affects what you watch. So you really get to tailor the video to however you want to experience it. So anyway, it'll start off with, the Jedi dies, he drops his lightsaber, the Sith comes, he picks it up, and then he puts on his hood. There's some really cool music going in the background, dun, 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 right? And he's walking back to his TIE fighter. He gets inside his TIE fighter, he starts booting up. He's about to go hunt the next Jedi, right? So the TIE fighter lifts off the ground and it takes off, and then we see he's coming to a new planet. It's going to be Endor. Oh my gosh. So this is all set basically right at, the beginning of the Empire, and this guy is a Sith who's kind of like an Inquisitor, and he's hunting down the last remaining of the Jedi who survived Order 66, right? So anyway, he gets to Endor, right? And he lands, and so he's following this beacon, right? And he comes across this crossroad where he sees that there are footprints going, let's say, for example, to the left, but his beacon is pointing him to the right. So he says, well, damn, where do I go? So that's going to be one of the first decisions you have to make. You can choose to either follow the footsteps or follow the beacon. Right now I'm drawing I'm drawing both, but let's assume he follows the beacon. If he follows the beacon, he's going to end up finding the Jedi. He says, oh my God, you're right there. And then that's where you get your second decision. So you find the Jedi, and you can choose to do one of two things. You can either distract him, as you see right there, and then you can sneak up on him, and then what's-ah, attack. Or you can choose to just immediately engage, right? So you just immediately yeet your lightsaber at him, like, but doesn't he see it coming? Well, yes, he does. He's a Jedi. And then he does a cool, block where he, the lightsaber goes flying. And then the Sith, after jumping up in the air, he catches the lightsaber that was deflected in midair. He catches it, and then they engage. So either decision will lead to the same, engagement, where it's, they begin to fight. But you get there different ways. Now, the other alternative, you follow the footprints. If you follow the footprints, turns out it was just an Ewok. And so you have this little engagement with the Ewok. The Ewok literally doesn't understand anything you're saying, so you get upset. So then you have the option to either, you can let him go or you can kill him. If you kill him, you whip out the lightsaber, you go, and you just slice him down. Rip Ewok. and you hear noise, you turn around, and oh my god, it's the Jedi sneaking up on you. And then you engage again. Alright, so as you can tell, I mean, doesn't really matter what you pick, you're going to end up kind of in the same place, but the journey is what's different, which is what's important. So, yeah, the other option is to just let him go, he hides, and then, yeah, he sneaks up on you. So then the actual duel happens, right? So, you know, some basic stuff happens, you know, y'all are fighting, blah, 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 blah. Then he does some cool, sweet move where the hero, like, knocks the Sith from his legs, and then he falls down, and he's gonna like force push him, and the Sith rolls away. But a lot of what happens here is just really, you know, whatever I think would be, you know, kind of cool. There's no real formula to this. It's really just, you know, whatever you think would be, you know, cool to watch, or whatever you feel would happen naturally. Then we get to a point where, you know, the Sith gets super upset, and he chooses to either yeet one of his stormtroopers at him, and the hero, like, slices him in half, or you can use the electricity, right? Like, force lightning, and you just shock him to Kingdom Come. And then at that point, that leads us to, like, the final act, which is gonna be using that cool, like, environment change, transition thing, force power that, like, Kylo Ren and Rey seem to have in the sequels, right? Where they can, like, communicate and teleport, kind of. Basically, that's gonna happen. And so the Jedi's like, what is happening? And so it's gonna be like, zoom, zoom, super cool transition effect. Camera's gonna pan across his eyes, and then boom, turns out we're at a beach. What? And they're both gonna call reinforcements. Turns out the Empire is a lot faster, so the TIE fighters are going to show up, and the Jedi's going to be like, I don't have my boys, and I don't care to deal with TIE fighters, so see ya! So he's going to try to GTFO, but as he tries to escape, the Sith is going to be like, nah. So he's going to freeze him in place as the TIE fighters are coming at him. You know, he's about to get absolutely annihilated. So then, oh, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, X-Wings show up. They blow up the Sith. Well, they didn't blow him up, but they're like, you know, shooting at him. You see explosions, so it breaks his concentration, and he lets the Jedi go. The Jedi's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So you get this cool, like, hero shot, and he looks up, and you get this super cool dogfight, and going on, and that leads to the final decision where, you know, the Sith is gonna either choose to engage the Jedi and be like, you know what, screw it, all in, or think, you don't want what, I'm not feeling this. I'm gonna escape. And then it's going to leave it off on that cliffhanger for the next video. But yeah, so that's basically the storyboard, the idea for the video. I hope this was kind of cool. I know, I mainly just talked about what's happening in the storyboard. So if you made it this far, I'll just talk a little bit more about my process for coming up with all of this. Because even though this seemed really, really fast and really straightforward and easy, it's not easy. This took several days to come up with. I recommend looking into anything that might inspire you, or any comps, you know, comparables that are kind of what you're after. So I watched a lot of the, you know, Clone Wars to see what kind of cool stuff they have in there, and then the movies, and see where I can pull inspiration from to see some, you know, just either cool fight sequences or cool ideas for, like, force powers, or things that I just think would be cool to see in a Star Wars video, right? Especially if it's going to be interactive and you get to choose your own path and that kind of thing. So yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about just having fun with it. It's, you know, do what makes you happy, do what you think would be cool. In my case, I thought of a lot of different things that would be cool, which is why, you know, another reason why I'm making it an interactive experience. So whoever's watching it can choose whatever they want to see, and, you know, hopefully it'll appeal to, you know, wider audience because of that. So hopefully it'll turn out great. Thank you for watching. If you decide to follow along, we'll be talking about location scouting in the next video. So, hope to see you there.